You're welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. Let's get into that story now. The East Legon Police have started investigations into a suspected assassination attempt on Dr. Anra, who is the former managing director of the State Housing Company Limited. Narrating events leading to the terrifying incident at his Trazaka residence, Dr. Anra stated that intruders had access to his bedroom after breaking his burglar proof around 4 a.m. on Tuesday. He says the intruder, after picking his phone, made a second attempt to kill him in his bedroom before he raised the alarm. The former MD says the alleged assailant made away with 3 phones containing sensitive information about some fraudulent transactions at the State Housing Company Limited. He is convinced that the assailants wanted to kill him to bury the evidence. JoyNews' Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Residence of Dr. Anra, the former managing director of the State Housing Company Limited. We're here on his compound and we are told that the intruder who accessed his living room and the bedroom actually used this exit point. So this is where they exited after getting inside and having access to the room. Now if you come to Tasako, it's a security, it's a high security place. It's really protected. At the main gate, there's a main gate, it's a gated community with a lot of security men, at the entrance of the gate itself. It's shocking how this intruder actually, had access to the room of Dr. Anra. Now, if you see that fencing behind me is a dwarf fencing, and we are told once again by our sources that the intruder actually accessed this compound using this dwarf fencing. You can see that it has no barbed wire, so it might be possible that it was very easy for him getting access to this compound. Let me quickly show you how the intruder was able to access the room. Now if you come here, this window actually has a burglar proof, but it has been partially destroyed. I would have opened it for you to see that police forensic experts are still carrying out their investigations. We don't want to be implicated in this, so we are not going to touch it. But you can see that the burglar proof itself has been partially destroyed, and we are told that the intruder had access to the room using this entry.
2 days ago, I was awoken by an unusual noise on my door, my bedroom door. And upon further observation, I realized there was a shadow behind the door. And so I raised my head and I saw this shadow trying to hide behind the door. And then I got up. That was when I realized that the person actually was holding my bedroom door, trying to push his way in. Unfortunately for him, one of the tiles is defective right there, so he couldn't get a smooth push on the door. So it got stuck. So then I realized that this person had a mask on his face and him wearing the black gloves. And so I screamed at him in my native language, "Ejulo," and then "Help, come." And my wife also responded from her bedroom, and this guy ran down the stairwell. At that point, I wasn't sure because it was dark downstairs, so I didn't want to go downstairs. So I went through the front window and started shouting for the internal security to come to our aid. At this juncture, the whole house was, in a state of panic, and the children were crying. My wife was crying. Eventually, within 4 to 5 minutes, the internal security finally came to the scene, and they accompanied us downstairs. It was then it dawned on me that this guy had actually had access to my bedroom whilst I was asleep, because in the inner living room we found this, as you can see, they've ripped out the burglar proofing, and I found my laptop bag lying right here on this sofa. There were documents in the bag, and I had a mobile phone in there, and the mobile phone was missing, but the documents were intact. Now I rushed upstairs, only to find that my active phone, which was in the charger, together with my wife's, were also gone. My laptop was there, my wife's laptop was there, the children's iPad was also there with some money. And this individual didn't take any of those. And then it dawned on me that the person came to this house purposely to get the phones. My concern now was, why did he come back? He came back purposely to come and kill me. I have no doubt about it, because he didn't touch anything. As you can see, this is all here. There's quite a bit that he could have made away with if he was a thief. If he came to steal, there's so many things he could have stolen from me. He didn't. And he stole only phones. I'm absolutely certain that this person came back to kill me, because now he has gotten the information he wanted on the phone. There is a sensitive information on the phone, and that is why all he was looking for at the first instance was to grab all the phones in the house. Obviously, he doesn't know which one is my handset, so he was taking any phone he could see on site. And he went back. My wife confirmed that she heard noises downstairs, as if somebody was talking to someone, but and also a noise from the window. And she wasn't sure. She thought it was myself, because that's around the time we wake up for our morning devotion. And it was then that I believe this person must have received further instructions, having recovered those phones from my property, to now come and kill me. I knew he was coming to the bedroom for the second time, which was when I actually woke up.
So why would anybody want to take away your life? Why would anybody want to kill you?
Why wouldn't anybody want to kill me if I'm holding information that suggests that very high-profile transactions at Labone are actually fraudulent and criminal? Why wouldn't they want to eliminate me?
What kind of transactions are we talking about here?
We're talking about state housing transactions at Labone, where my signature has been forged, the documents have been backdated, which makes it criminal.
Was that what caused your removal from State Housing Company?
Well, I was accused of all sorts of things, and I haven't responded to any of those in the last 2.5 years, purely because I believe that the truth will surface one day. What we saw 2 days ago was an attempt to bury the truth, so that the lies will be made the truth. And I think Ghanaians have a right to pursue this to the letter. They took the phones, but they have not eliminated the information, because the information is not restricted to those phones. And the information is in the public domain already anyway. But it's up to Ghanaians who have been told of my corruption and my malfeasance and all the rest of this to pursue this to the letter. Because as a Ghanaian, I don't want to be killed. I want to be tried fairly. And I want to be given the right sentence if I'm guilty. But I shouldn't be killed this way.
Have you made this evidence that you're talking about, which is on the phone, have you made it available yet to the relevant authorities?
In fact, the information was given to me by the police, who were then investigating. And my copy is what was on the phone. I insisted on having a copy, and that is what is on the phone.
What kind of evidence is it?
These are indentures covering the transactions. We call them leases. The lease is a combination of an indenture and a site plan. The site plan is where the transaction starts. It identifies the property. Unfortunately, apart from forging my signature, these site plans were issued 8 months after I had left office. So there's no way we could have an indenture, which always comes after the site plans, backdated 2 years into 2 years before I left office. It's not possible. What it means is that these transactions are criminal. And you know that fraud vitiates these transactions, and people stand to lose a lot of money, and people have a lot to answer for. If they kill Mark Anra, they bury this truth, and so they have and this is an affront on the people of Ghana and on our intelligence.
While talking about how safe people feel in their homes, the Accra Regional Police Command has been speaking about the details surrounding the murder of a local chief at Ademan at Amasaman. Police investigations have revealed that the assailants chased the local chief, who entered the room of a relative for safety and fired him, and also inflicted machete wounds on him. Realizing that the chief was dead, they carried the lifeless body and dumped it in another room before bolting. The 3 suspects who are believed to have committed the act were later arrested on the 12th of June 2017 at the Richview Hotel at Kwabenya, where they had gone to launch a similar attack on another targeted person. That's according to the police information available to us at the moment. Well, that person who is believed to have been the target is Henry Addo. Henry Addo joins me now in the studio. Henry, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so your information led to the arrest, or the alerts that you raised with the police led to the arrest of these 3 people. What was it that gave you the impression, that made you believe beyond reasonable doubts that you were their target?
Yes, I happened to be living somewhere in Dansoman, and in 2016, on the 29th of December, my Mercedes-Benz was bent with 2 bottles of petrol. There were these motor riders who were on 2 guys who were on a motorbike, and they came in the night, poured the petrol on my car and bent it. And then from that time, other issues have happened when I realized that these are guys that were looking for my life.
Okay.
So I moved away from Dansoman and settled in Kwabenya, precisely in a guest house known as the Richview Hotel. I've been there for the past 5 months.
Was it all because you are afraid for your life?
Yes.
That's why you decided to live in a hotel?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I realized that upon several complaints to the police administration, lodge complaints with the Dansoman police, nothing was going on. And I had 3 separate cases at the Dansoman police station. No suspect has been arrested. And I tell them, they ask me, who do you suspect? You mentioned the name, nothing is done. So I had to run for shelter, look for a place somewhere far away from Accra, going to hide at where I may have friends that could protect my life. So I went into hiding in Kwabenya. I was sleeping in this hotel, and I keep changing the rooms. I sleep in room 4, the different rooms, until just last week I decided I'm going to sleep in the upstairs room, which was room 10. Then just on Sunday, I learned these 3 guys came around and they insisted they wanted to stay next to my room. So I wasn't there on Sunday. I came back very late. When I came back, I was told they had gone out. So Monday evening, I came back. I was just talking on my phone in the car. Then I had a call. Then the receptionist came to tell me that there are some guys looking for me in the hotel, and that they claim they are my friends, and that one of them was standing just behind my car making a call. So when I looked at him, I realized he's not somebody I know.
Okay.
So
you became suspicious because already
suspicious.
You have that at the back of your mind that you are under threat.
Really, what really happened was that after the Ademan issue, I was called.
Okay, so that's jumping the gun a bit. So let's start. Let's rewind. Let's go back a little bit. You've spoken about the fact that you felt targeted by these 2 people, which is why you raised the alarm in the first place, because you had been targeted earlier on. But why will anybody want to kill you? Why?
I wouldn't have loved to talk about that because I was in court today.
Okay.
There's a story that I did in Accra, contract killing in Ghana, which I made some statements, and it became a defamation case that I'm currently pending in court. Okay,
so the story you wrote was that, and so just so you know, he's the managing editor of
Adansia newspaper.
Adansia newspaper.
Yeah.
So what was the story? The story was
contract killing in Ghana.
Okay, and it was about?
It was about the series of murders that were going on in Accra.
Okay.
People being targeted, people being shot. There was one guy who was shot in the leg, and luckily he ran away with a bullet, and later he identified his assailants, and then there was an arrest, and the case is in court. There were other issues that we were talking about, but because the case is in court, I wouldn't like to delve so much into that. Because I'm defending myself in court now. Because
so you don't want to talk about that. So you did a story, and you believe that because of the story that you did, you're being targeted.
Yeah.
So you've been on the run for your life.
Yeah.
Finally, you end up in Kwabenya, and then a group of people decide to target you there as well? You raise an alarm and those people are
really,
arrested.
What really made me suspicious was that on Friday, with a team of policemen, we pursued this same motor rider who was then in town.
Okay.
And we chased him with my car, and he bolted away with a motorbike. And then I saw the registration number, and then the identification of the guy was that he was wearing a white beads at his ankle.
Okay.
And that is the indication that he was a victim that I pursued on Friday.
He was a prey, you would put it, that you pursued on Friday. But anybody could have a white anklet.
The number plate of the motorbike and the brand of the motorbike, which was a Suzuki moto with that foreign number plate registration, made me suspicious. So when I saw the guy in the darkness, I identified the beads around his ankle. Okay. So immediately I took a picture of the motorbike's number plate, and then I forwarded it to a friend who knew they had that motorbike.
Okay.
Immediately he gave me a signal back on WhatsApp that yes,
that those are the people.
Yes, he just wrote
came
yes.
After you.
He just wrote yes, and then he put off his phone. So I became so alarmed that this guy, I talked to him, and then just now he's just putting off his phone. Immediately I raised alarm. I called the police.
Okay.
Assistance of the Kwabenya police commander, who was so swift, so helpful. He's been a friend. I've reported myself to him ever since I came to the community that I'm being targeted. He should place
So you raise the alarm. He goes in to arrest these people. So I have the names here from the police documents that we have here: Asafwache Nikwe Korte, Musa Mohammed, and Rahim Yakubu. These three people. But the thing is that the police say they are highly suspected to be among a group of thugs who murdered Nitete Saban in Ademan on the 8th of June 2017. What's the connection?
Yes, from the
Do you know him, the man who they are suspected to have murdered?
I don't know him personally, but I happen to be connected to a brother of that chief who was murdered. Okay. He was a junior to me in school, and he came to me and was like, his brother has been murdered, and they know the guys who did that. They came with yellow motorbikes, and I had to then initiate a follow-up.
The investigation.
Yes.
So then you started doing the story.
Even on the ground, no, I've not even written any documents on them. Okay. I've not written any statement at all on them, but I started following up based on intelligence from the community and those that witnessed the murder. So there was one guy that I was liaising with, I wouldn't like to mention his name. He was giving me feedback information. The guys are here, they've moved this direction. And then what really aggravated the whole thing was that when they realized that I pursued that guy on that Friday with the police, I think I became a target. And then knowing very well that I was already on their bad books, or in their bad books, then they had to. So I was just surprised that on the Friday that I chased him with the police weapon men, and then on Saturday, Sunday, they came to my hotel.
The hotel.
And then Monday, I see the guy again walking at the corridors of the hotel. So immediately, I ran out of the...
Apart from those that were arrested?
Yeah.
There was still another one who was walking on the corridors of the hotel?
No, he was the first person I saw.
Okay.
And with the identification that I had on him, I had to go into the kitchen of the hotel, go and hide in a refrigerator.
I see. And
send a text to senior police officers who I know had my contact and could understand my language easily. And immediately the commander for Kwabenya was connected, and he told me he had sent his men a full patrol team, and they came fully weaponed.
And then they arrested these guys.
Rooms and
now the police say they are investigating them. They are investigating them in relation to the death of Nitete Sabaina Dayman. And then they're also asking for information because they suspect that they were targeting you, of course, the story that you... What more do you know about the story from the police? What are they telling you? What are your expectations going forward?
I'm just receiving a call from a senior police officer that they want to see me. And that from the information gathered so far, they would like to sit down with me. But as we speak now, I've been given police protection. The anti-terrorist group, I've gotten 2 of them, fully armed. because to be honest, I've humbled myself before the police administration, self-police administration, on a series of reports, and I continue to follow their reports anytime, any day.
So now you're working with police protection.
Yes.
That must feel good, doesn't it?
It is not as safe to feel good. I pray that this issue is resolved. The assailants are picked up.
Talking about resolving it, what are your expectations? If you could do that briefly for me.
Yes, I believe that there's a very big task for government, and I believe that governments must sit up. The issue of galamsey should not be only the issue. This is another target that government must be looking at.
When you say this is another target, what do you mean?
This is the issue of
killing.
land guards that must be eradicated completely from the system. They must be cleared from our system because they are posing a threat. All these people that are getting into being assassinated and killed in their rooms and things are done specifically by group of land guards we have in this country.
Okay, so this whole thing is related to land and land issues.
Yes, yes. When you get to the deep of it, you realize it's related to land.
Thank you very much, Henry Ado. It's still a developing story, isn't it? So we'll see how the police takes the investigation forward. But thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you very much.
Henry Ado is a managing editor of what's the name? Adansia newspaper. He's a managing editor of the Adansia newspaper. They're currently in court, but he believes that he's been targeted. And of course, his alarm led to the arrest of 3 people who happened to be connected to the murder of the chief, a development chief in Ademan. Away from that story, state prosecutors handling the case involving 2 gentlemen accused of murdering former Buakwa North MP have asked for more time as they await advice of the Attorney General. Daniel Asiedu and Vincent Bosso were discharged 2 weeks ago, but later rearrested with fresh charges put against them. The case took an interesting twist as journalists were asked to exit the courtroom. Correspondent Joseph Akable has more.
So the building behind me houses quite a number of district courts here in the capital. Now I must say that as early as about 9 a.m. on Thursday, quite a number of journalists had gathered here presently waiting for the accused persons to be brought in for hearing to commence. They were brought in about 30 minutes past 9 a.m. When they were led into the courtroom by officers from the Ghana Police Service. The journalists attempted entering the courtroom, but unfortunately were prevented by an order coming from the magistrate hearing the matter. Arit Insemo prevented all journalists from entering the courtroom, numbering about 10 of them, I must say, are all gathered outside the courtroom and waited anxiously, not knowing what was transpiring within the presence of the court itself. But from relying on information picked up from those who were in the court for other business, we understand DSP George Amega, who is doing prosecution for the state, told the court they were yet to receive advice from the Office of the Attorney General, after which the judge adjourned the matter to be heard on June 29. So that is it as it stands. We're also picking information, again, because we're not in the courtroom. Information we are picking from those who made it in is that one of the accused persons, Daniel Asiedu, told the magistrate that he had been denied access to his lawyer and that he had told the prosecutor he had wanted to speak to his lawyer, but he has not been allowed. The magistrate, we are again told, directed that his lawyer is contacted on his behalf and informed that the next court date is on June 29. So that is the situation here, and the hope of many journalists who made it today is that next time they'll be allowed into the courtroom. Reporting for JoyNews, Joseph Akable, Accra District Court.